liquid come together and thicken up. All right. This is what's called in New Orleans a roux, but ain't no cooking oil in here. This is a cup of bacon grease, no seed oils, animal product, 100%, and a cup of flour. Over here we got hot sausage, gizzard, some beef stew meat, and some, what it is, kind of something smoked sausage. I used to use Hillshire, but that don't have the flavor like this got. It's a smaller smoked sausage. And then they got the hot sausage I cut up. And I got a piece of andouille in there too. We cook this ahead of time so it'll get tender, especially the stew meat and the gizzards. Let that roll for like 3 hours, because when I put this roux and that together, it's gonna be ready to eat in like 45 minutes, maybe less. Over here, we got a couple of big crabs I got from the Fiesta Mart. I got some low salt, unsalted chicken broth, and of course, I ain't gonna say the Trinity, because we got some parsley in there. But y'all know how it go. And a big old clove of garlic. Real, none of that stuff out the bottle in that garlic juice. We got some big shrimps over here. I'm not making a whole lot of gumbo like most people make, because it's just gonna sit. But I am making some quality gumbo over here. Over here we got, I try to go low salt. And over here we got the Cajun two-step. That's the guy, Stale Cracker on YouTube. He come out with some low salt Cajun spice, and I got some ground bay leaf to make it really get in there. And I got my paprika. This is what do you call them? Chili flakes, but it's crushed. It's like in the middle between cayenne pepper and red chili flakes. We gonna make a strong pot over here, ladies and gentlemen. You ain't got nothing to say about this, Candace? You want to cook this roux?
I got plenty to see.
You want to cook this roux at a low temperature. You don't want it to burn, and you got to constantly stir it. I cook it in a big pan. Some people use a shallow pan. I don't like nothing splashing on my stove. You have this remind me of when people say, "Can I get the camera on me a little bit? Can I get the camera on me a little bit?"
Yeah, we get the camera on him a little bit.
This remind me of when, like, a woman start exercising and all kind of hair, nails, and weave, and losing weight and going to the gym. The husband will say, "Oh man, he'll get clues like she cheating on him. She ain't never home." But if she like just start gaining weight, but she ain't never home, he might get comfortable. And then all of a sudden he realized, "Oh shit, she cheating with a fat nigga that can cook." by then it's too late. She ain't coming back. By then it's too late. We gotta cook this for like a half hour. It's starting to steam a little bit, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. But you wanna get this like a chocolate color, don't take no shortcuts with it. It takes a while. Sometimes it takes half hour, sometimes a little more. You gotta constantly stir it though. It's getting darker. All right, cut it, and when the roux is done, we'll come back.
And we're back.
Back in the pot. It's getting to the right texture that I like. It's getting a little dark on the bottom, kind of quick, and trying to solidify. It's not so liquidy, and that when that steam starts rolling, it's got a little way to go. I want to get it darker than this, but I'm not on a hot fire, and it's starting to roll. So what I usually do, what I always do to darken it up and get a little color, a little what do you call it? Translucent on my vegetables. I put them in now. And it's gonna darken up. It's gonna sizzle and watch out, smoke gonna come up.
What you mean translucent?
The onion will get split. Right, back in the pot.
All right.
It darkens up pretty quick once you put these vegetables in.
Oh, it smells good in here.
Soon I'm gonna be adding some liquid. And let it get a little
What kind of liquid?
chicken broth.
All right, chicken broth.
By the way, this is not water. This is chicken broth that I boiled my shrimp heads in. And that's when I put this in there. This is, yeah, you boil the shrimp heads and you strain them. And then you put the gizzards and the hot sausage. You gotta cook the hot sausage first. I like to boil that too in a separate pot. You can put close to the top of it. You boil the hot sausage in a separate pot and cook it. Because it makes a lot of grease. You gotta like poke holes in it and it'll shoot liquid all over you. Hot liquid, so be careful with the hot sausage links. And you can only get the hot sausage here at Fiesta Bayou Seafood. But I'm gonna put some of this in it just to even everything out. Some of this chicken broth. Yeah, but you boil the shrimp heads, you gotta get big shrimp and to make it come out right. And you boil the shrimp heads and then you strain them. Boil them for about, I don't know, about 30 minutes after it starts boiling. You can boil as long as you want, I guess. Yeah, let me go ahead and put all the liquid in now. Just to see where we at with the liquid. Yeah, we're gonna have to put a lot of more chicken stock in here, maybe a little water. Like I said, I'm not making a big pot. Yeah, that's actually kind of perfect. I like to use that Texas water. I guess I could use a bottled water, but I'd rather it be flavor on flavor on flavor. All right, I'll come back when I add the seafood. I'll let this boil for about, I guess, 45 minutes.
And we're back.
All right, we added some crabs in there. Get that going. We got the consistency that we want. The roux could have been a little darker. The roux is always a little darker when I have a couple of adult beverage in me. I always do a better job on it, but I could put some kitchen bouquet or something in here, but it's gonna taste just the same. This always, when I cook gumbo, it always reminds me of my cousin Louis when he said, "It ain't like Mondoc's." That was my grandma, and he was right. I have never tasted anything like hers. Everything she made tasted better than everybody else's. I guess my mom had the recipes firsthand, and it wasn't even close. Everything she made tastes like butter. That's why I called her Miss Butterworth. And she took her own sweet time. Now, making this, like I said, it always comes out better when I had a couple of drinks in me for some reason. I'm more focused on it. It reminds me of, oh, hold on. It reminds me of a joke. All right. Guy walks into a barroom. I'm laughing already. Guy walks into a barroom. He tells the bartender, "Give me a rum and coke." The bartender says, "Okay," and he gives him an apple. The guy said, "What am I supposed to do with this?" Bartender says, "Take a bite of it." The guy bites the apple and it tastes like Coke. And he's like, "Wow." And the bartender says, "Spin it around." And the guy bites the apple again and it tastes like rum. And he's like, "Wow, this is crazy." Another guy walks in, says, give me a gin and juice. Bartender gives him an apple. The guy bites it, it tastes like juice. The bartender says, spin it around. The guy bites the apple and it tastes like gin. And he's like, wow, so they're blown away. Third guy walks into the bar. The two other guys that's in there say, hey, this bartender, he gives you an apple and it tastes like anything you want it to taste. The guy said, okay, I want it to taste like a coochie. The bartender looks at him and gives him an apple. The guy bites the apple and says, this apple tastes like shit. And the bartender says, spin it around. Oh boy, to finish off the gumbo, you gotta put some of this in it. This is a thickener and it also gives it a distinctive flavor. It's called gumbo filet. I told my friend next door, cause I'm from New Orleans and I live in North Texas, and he's from Texas. And he said, Robert, you make that gumbo? I was like, yeah, and he tasted it and I made him a believer. But I told him that the secret ingredient was ground leaves from the sassafras trees on the Gulf Coast. And well, that's the Gulf of America, that is. And he didn't believe me, but that's what this is. All right. So all I gotta do now is add the shrimp, and we got a strong pot. Have a nice day.